Well, good evening, everybody. It's me, Alex, your sassy dispatcher, and of course, we are always staying on the top of what's going on in trucking industry. Market is tough, and as a professional dispatchers, you guys need to have extra tools to succeed. I am very pleased to announce our partnership with one of the biggest and most innovative load boards in the USA market, truckstop. But today, it's not going to be me who is going to be showing you all the tricks and all the hoops and all the secrets. Well, we're going to have actually partners from truckstop, and they will tell us why is a truck stop so good? Is it really that good? Should you go and waste your money, or should you stick to that? Or maybe you should just stay with a big sign in front of the Walmart and look for your loads. So let's figure out. I am gonna bring to the studio Alan and Nick, and they're gonna tell us everything about truck stops. So here you go. Hi guys, how are you? Let's start with Alan. Alan, tell us how did you end up with truck stop? What is a truck stop about? And why should all of us use truck stop from now on?
Hey, Alex, thank you for having us. So my name is Alan Alberto. I'm a senior partner account manager here at Truckstop. So thank you everyone watching. I'm excited to be here with you. Truckstop's been around since 1995. So we're excited to present more of our products with you as a leader in the market. I'm going to share my screen. From a partnership perspective, we have a true partner marketplace featuring over 100 different industry best-in-class solutions that we offer really bring together through this ecosystem for carriers, brokers, and shippers to take advantage of. So Alex is one of our trusted partners. So thank you for following her as well. So Alex, if you want to help me share my screen.
Yes, of course. So here you go.
All right. So we'll take a look at our main website. So truckstop.com. From there, you can find our partner page under resources. We'll go down to partner marketplace. From the marketplace, you'll see a number of different solutions. We have a featured bar, we have collections, we have categories. Under categories, we're going to scroll all the way down to training and education. In here is where we're going to find Alex, so Dispatch Training Center. We're going to go ahead and click on her tile. So here you can go ahead and learn about Dispatch Training Center. You can subscribe to take her classes, learn more about Truckstop and our products. Nick is going to go ahead and jump into the load board this evening and do a live demo with you and answer any questions that you have. The other piece of information I want to share that Dispatch Training Center has access to is going to be our affiliate or referral program. So over here, Alex is going to share this with you all this evening. You have the opportunity to get 50% off of Truckstop's load board and ITSD, which is our TMS, for your first 3 months of subscription. You'll scroll down to the bottom. You'll go ahead and put in your contact information. One of our team members will reach out to you and follow up. They'll assess your needs, exactly what you're looking for. They'll walk you through the product, and you'll see it'll be cut in half at 50% for the first 3 months. All right.
So, yes. Can we please talk about different programs you have? Like, what is basic covers? What is a pro? What is a premium? What is the difference between those three plans?
Sure, that's a great question. We are very transparent as a company, not only in our pricing, but also in all of our tools. So if you dive down to the bottom here, you'll have the 3 different essential columns for basic, pro, and premium, and their price points. As you see here, and for the sake of time, I'm not going to read through each and every category here, but you'll be able to see all the different features that are included in that monthly pricing for each tier. The 50% off is for your pro package. So you really get all of the bells and whistles coming with Truckstop before upgrading to premium. The other place that you can find this, so not only on Alex's referral page, and remember you have to fill this out in order to get that promotional or discount code. But if we go back to truckstop.com, our main homepage, and if you're, let's say, a carrier, you hover over the product, so load board, directly from our website, it's also going to give you that pricing breakdown and all of the features as well. So you can get it directly on truckstop.com or on Alex's referral page.
Okay. So do you think for the newer carriers, let's say market is tough and they are brand new, do you think that the lowest subscription for 39 months can actually help them to be efficient in the business? Because I mean, I am usually very skeptical about basic products for any load board, but do you have a lot of people who start with a $39 and after they get used to your product, they want to have more tools, more data, and they just can update later?
They can, in order to access the promotional discount. So it's part of our broker referral program, and we're starting that carrier referral program. It has to be the middle tier, so it has to be on Pro in order to access that. But if they'd like to start at the carrier, let's say for $39 a month, they're more than welcome to. They're definitely going to have the resources available to get them off the ground and running. So all of our packaging for our different products are built that way to enable the carrier, the broker, the shipper to be successful in their business.
Okay. And the question which is bothering everybody, if you are a carrier, you are able to use your product, right? But we have a lot of independent dispatchers. So is truckstop are giving that option nowadays? Because you guys used to have that option before. Now, do you still honor that option or not? Because this is the biggest question what I've been asked every day, multiple times a day from my students.
That's a great question, Alex. For security purposes, we don't allow for dispatching companies to be on the load board. It's more of a security and compliance. But naturally, the way that Alex has explained it to me as well, so I've learned a lot working with Alex, is if you're a carrier in the market, you have to learn to dispatch, right? Because you're dispatching yourself as the carrier in the market. Additionally, there are families who are in the business, right? So let's say I'm on the road and I'm a carrier, but my spouse is going to dispatch for me. Well, that's a really different process than
Yeah, it's a different
a dispatcher
relationship
who's
as
in
well
the
as business.
business.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So, do you think that this actually helping truck stop to get rid of the scams, double brokering, and actually make this load board kind of clean? Because we see this a lot, especially in the last year. The scams are all over the place, especially is with double brokering, and that's what I think one of the reasons when a bigger load board give the access to anybody who can just register a company to go there and start posting, that's where you can get those information, that's where you can pretend to be carrier, because the thing is the information is public. Anybody who opens MC, the moment they pay, everybody knows MC number, they know the address, they know the phone number, they know their email. And lately we've been seeing that people actually misuse that information. So does that make you guys different than other load boards? So people actually know that if this load was posted from this broker, that you verify not even carrier, but you also verify the brokers. Because me as a carrier, I want to make sure that truck stop goes extra mile and making sure that that broker will pay, that that broker has a bond and surety bond in place, that broker has a good relationship. So do you guys check on the brokers as well?
You're correct. And Nick may be able to speak to this better than I can, but we definitely have a clean load board. I believe we actually scrape the load board clean every day. So it's a 24-hour period to make sure that all of the loads that are on there are unique and clean. So it is checked for quality, let's say.
Okay. Well, Alan, thank you so much for joining us for a little bit. Thank you for believing in Dispatch Training Center and our partnership. And of course, we're going to go to Nick because he's the one who is going to be answering all our questions. So let's hear about Nick and his journey. We're going to say goodbye to you, Alan, and we're going to
Bye,
continue
Alan.
with enjoy your night. So let's go, Nick. Why truck
Welcome.
stop? Why
Well,
truck stop? How long
I've
you
been
been
in
working?
the
Let's
I've
go.
been with Truckstop for about 5 years, going on 5 years. I've been in logistics for 13 years or so. So that's all I really know. And coming over to Truckstop, I used it at the brokerage I worked for, and I was familiar with it. And I just enjoy talking to brokerages, carriers, and just giving them advice, I guess, in this industry. And that's part of my job, is to show how our products work, but how can they use it in their day-to-day, and why is it a benefit to them. I think coming from the industry, I have a lot of insight to how it can be used and what's important and what's not important. I wanted to go back to your original question about why would I buy basic over pro. And what we see a lot of is, newcomers coming into the industry, maybe not too familiar with rates or how to negotiate and find the best markets, as basic just doesn't offer that. We see a lot of larger carriers maybe using the basic just for a simple backhaul because they have some dedicated freight. But the pro is going to give you the live feed, insight to the rates, so you can confidently negotiate higher rates and just know what the market's going for instead of going into it blind. I think that's the biggest thing of why people go
So
with the pro
should we
service.
say this as, if you came to this business, especially when the market is tough, at least you should invest in pro account for one of the load boards, because that's what's gonna help you to actually even find the loads. I
Yeah.
seen so, I seen so many dispatchers and owner operators who go to the cheapest version and then they struggle. Why? Simply because they don't have all the features, they don't have all the tools, and you cannot compare. I am already dialing, I have the live feed, I am already dialing, I'm already talking to
Yep.
the broker, and a lot of times they don't even see it if they did not refresh it, or they don't even, or they cannot do it at the same time, compare what's going on. So my personal advice for anybody who comes to trucking, doesn't matter if it's a one truck, four trucks, five, to at least get, it's better to have one load board instead of going to two, three subscriptions. Get one, whatever you choose.
Yep.
Truckstop, that, I don't know, one, two, three. I don't even know other load boards, but choose
Yeah.
one subscription and just learn how to use it. And that's why we
Yep.
have you today, because here
Yes.
is another thing. We have a lot of people who have been paying the highest subscription you have, but unfortunately, they never spend time to look into
Learning.
your product, to
Yeah.
know how to use that. So why
Yeah.
don't we show them with starting simple, searching, looking the rates, and what did you guys improve? Because let's be honest, comparing truck stop load board today and comparing it 2 years ago,
Oh yeah.
three, it's a totally
Big
different product.
difference. Big
Okay,
difference. Yeah.
so
And more to
let's go.
come too. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna share your screen, and then you can take it over
there
and
we
tell
are.
us, should we know as the
Yep.
carriers who try to find a good load, carriers who don't want to go to the dead areas, carriers who want to see, am I really negotiating or I'm actually lowballing? What are the prices everybody's getting?
Yep.
So let's
Let's do it. Yeah, we're going to be covering what's on the Pro. So big things to point out are going to be the load comparison. So if you have multiple trucks or you just want to compare multiple loads at one time, this is a great feature. The rate insights is also fantastic. It is one of our newer products. It's been around for a little over a year, I would say, but it uses technology that no other company uses, such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. So those are the big ones. Of course, the real-time updates, you said it, a live feed is totally necessary, especially when you are calling on loads. You could be fifth in line. When I was
Now,
working at a
if I
brokerage,
may ask you here, a lot of people
sure.
get confused. What does it mean live fit?
Yep.
Can you
So,
just go into details to that?
yep. So with the basic service, when you're doing a load search, you have to wait 60 seconds for a new load to populate. And in that time, in that 60 seconds, everybody on Pro can see that. So if you're in a popular area, let's just say Chicago, there's 100 other trucks looking at the same load or lane. There's 100 other guys, or possibly 100 other guys that are on Pro that are going to see that load before you. So they're going to be on the phone a lot faster. And it's speed is money, time is money, as they always say. And working at a brokerage, you want to get your load booked as quickly as possible. So you're going to go with that first guy. So you're going to spend more time making phone calls, getting told that, nope, sorry, this load's already covered. If you're not
Or you,
relying on that live feed.
even nowadays, you're already second in line. The chances are that load is
Yep.
gonna get booked by Alex because she's already clicked and she's already talking and she's already negotiated. So
Yep.
even if you are second caller, sometimes in this market, you don't even have a chance to get to the point, so you get frustrated. And that's what happens when you do not have a good tools. When you cannot gather information, you get frustrated. And when you get frustrated, well, you're not doing a great business, because then you're making mistakes. You booking the loads to that area, you start just getting whatever you can get that day, and that's what makes you that desperate dispatcher kind of. So let's see, because we're gonna become
Yes.
pros with you.
Yes. Yes, so this is going to be, of course, the web version. We do have a mobile app that's called Truckstop Go. All of the different features like the rate tool and credit stop brokers, what we call it, are all in the mobile app as well. So if you're on the go, you can use it. We kind of have three different methods of searching. We have our standard searching, we have a multi-trip, and then we also have a map. I like to start at the map before I really dive in and start looking for loads. And the reason for it is the map, it shows you, okay, let's say you're in Boise, Idaho. That's where I'm at. And
Let's
I just want to go anywhere.
I have truck tomorrow. Let's go real. I have truck tomorrow
Okay.
in Iowa. So let's put
Iowa?
Iowa, and
Okay.
I do, yes, it is Carlisle, Iowa. So it's drive-in, Carlisle,
Okay.
Iowa, and I want to see what's gonna happen there. And I can tell you this: I would like to stay on Midwest, Southwest, and maybe North Carolina, South Carolina. Is there a way I can choose that right here or not?
Yeah, so you can put in your specific lane. You'll see I just did Iowa in general because I don't necessarily use this one as a way to find loads. You certainly can. As you can see down below, there's a whole list of loads, and this is the entire state of Iowa, of course. But what I really want to look at is some of the colors in here. So we're going to look at the green ones. Now, there's a lot of loads, so it's kind of covering them up. But what this is telling me down in the bottom right corner is if I'm heading out of Iowa, I should be looking for loads probably over to Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, even over to Washington. And, you know, if I can't find anything going there, maybe the yellow ones. So the green are on average $2.90 plus. And as you know, that's a pretty good rate nowadays. But even if I can't find a load that works out for me to going to those states, maybe the yellow
Let me
will work.
challenge you here, Nick, because you know
Sure.
I'm here to challenge you. You telling me 290 plus. Let's pick one of those lanes. Which city? Can we go exactly, let's say from Des Moines, Iowa, and let's choose one of those which you telling me that they're gonna pay. Can we post exactly and see what can we see on the board right now? And of course, you're not a magician, not in control of market, but I want to see reality of your data to exactly what the brokers are paying.
Here, let's go down here.
Okay.
So we'll filter by the rate per mile.
Let's
so we
go.
got some, those are, you know, going to be your shorter hauls. Let's go into the larger items. So as we keep going, 345, this one's going over to Colorado. Let's keep going here, 313.
Okay, 313. Okay, can we just click
that's
on
Nebraska.
One of them? Yeah, just let's click on one of them so we can see the details.
So here we have our Oskaloosa, Iowa, going to Omaha, pretty short haul, 192 miles, 600 all in. So that's why it's a little bit of a higher rate per mile, of course.
Yeah, which is for the professional dispatcher, it's a short haul, 192. So the reality of the market, actually, well, this is not enough, $600, but okay.
Yep.
I see how the program organizes it. So here is my advice for my dispatchers. You have to understand, when you look at 320 per mile, when you look at 5 per mile, when you look at $6 per mile, you need to look at the details, because we can never compare $6 per mile if this load is only 60 miles, right? We cannot justify that I am the best dispatcher. I can find you load $6 per mile. If I'm not going to tell you them details, it's going to be local run. It's going to be same state. It's going to be maybe multi-drop, multi-stop. Okay, so we got it here. Sorry, Nick, we get you into professional dispatcher, so I want to make sure that the software actually shows reality of the freight today. And
and this again up here is just kind of an average over time. and it's a state-to-state rate, so it's not an exact lane-to-lane rate. It's just giving you a general idea of kind of where the highest rate is to go to. Now, it just
So
depends
it
on
would
what
be
you can
very
find.
great for the new dispatchers, for people who
Mhm.
just come to industry, who have no experience where about commodity, about the
Mhm.
production, manufacturing, so they can learn. And that's what I always advise to my students, that they need to come to these maps, start posting different states so they can learn the lanes, because it takes years to learn different types of
Oh, yeah.
commodity, the seasonal effects, the
Mhm.
holiday effect, market. So
Yep.
it takes years. So this is something which is very beneficial for especially the new carriers,
Mhm.
carriers who get into this tough market. So that's a great feature. I like it. I like the colors. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Good.
I always tell people, as you know, this side of the United States can be a little challenging to get out of. So great, you found some good paying states to go to, but do a reverse search. Maybe put in Nevada, Idaho, wherever you're looking to go. What are the rates coming out of those states? So you're kind of planning ahead and being ahead of the game, I guess you could say. So
What is that feature multi-trip? So what is
yeah.
that gonna help?
So this one, I like to, it can be used in two different ways. I like to use it, or say maybe you're stuck in an area and you can't find a direct load looking to go home. I talked to a gentleman once that was stuck in a state. He was trying to get home to Louisiana and he just couldn't find a direct load. And you
Let's
can
go
all,
to reality. Had a truck stock in Phoenix, Arizona yesterday. Drive in. So
yeah,
let's see. Phoenix, Arizona. Drive in. Owner operator decided to go there because he just saw the rate to Phoenix, Arizona, but he never paid attention what he's gonna do from Phoenix, Arizona.
afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards, real story. He
Okay.
wasted the whole day sitting there yesterday, called me today, almost crying. So let's see exactly for
Now,
maybe tomorrow or today.
is there a particular place that he wants to go to?
Well, he wants to come back to Midwest. He's
Midwest?
he's
Okay.
an Illinois carrier, so he wants to come
So
back to
I'll just
stronger
say
Midwest. Let's
Illinois.
say, yeah.
Okay, and we're going to put one stop and we're going to leave it as no round trip, because this also does round trips too. So if he was in Phoenix and he wants to stay in Phoenix, it
No,
could
we're not going
possibly,
back
yeah,
there. We
yeah,
were
I'm just
already made
saying, if you wanted to align a couple loads, so it's going to do some thinking. It's got to pair up two loads together. So let's see what it finds. And of course, I am going to the entire state of Illinois.
Okay.
See what it does.
Do we need to choose maybe tomorrow, the tomorrow date? Because today is kind of
I
done.
don't think I put a date. I think I just put whenever. So let's do Chicago. There we go.
Okay.
Let's find some loads here.
Can
Looks like
we just
it's
go
day
back to
two.
the
There's
map for
one.
the second? So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I let's just show the map because people following us. So this is something which we in logistic call Trihole. So
Hmm.
let's say you're stuck in Phoenix. You
Yep.
need to get to Chicago, but it's no loads exactly to Chicago. So this is giving you option where you can break with two trips and go back to Chicago, hopefully
Hmm.
without losing 2 3 days in transit, right? So
Yep.
for me, for example, when I look on this map, logical tri-hole would be Arizona, maybe break to Colorado. Georgia is too far away. That's extra day in transit.
Right.
California opposite way. So for me as a professional, I would only maybe break in Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and then go to Chicago. But
Yep.
the program gives you all options
Right.
possible.
Yep.
But as a
Yep.
dispatcher, we have to remember that smart tri-hole is a tri-hole where your transit, the days, and until you get to Chicago kind of stays the same, because we can drive all over USA and get to Chicago at
Hmm.
some point. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
open one. So let's see. Let's see
So
how we go
we
down.
can go through here. Let's see if we can find that one you were talking about. That one's to Georgia. We'll click on the details of it. None of them, they all say zeros, but that's
Mhm.
because nobody has posted a rate. So we clicked on these little details. You can see it's posted
Okay,
by two different brokers, Landstar, and then we have CH Robinson over here. But it's going
okay,
to piece together kind of the dates for you. You have your 24th, pickup, deliver Georgia, 27th, deadhead about 81 miles over to Macomb, and then pick up on the 1st. and then get over to Janesville, Wisconsin, which is about 100
Okay,
miles away.
so it did combine two different brokers. So from Chandler, Arizona, you go into Georgia and you go with a Landstar Ranger. Okay. My buddies, they're outsourcing in Ukraine. And then C.H. Robinson, you can connect Macon, Georgia, go to Janesville, Wisconsin. So this is pretty good, especially for new dispatchers. Actually, I think it's really going to help them. Plus, let's go through these numbers. Well, you can see what kind of equipment you need, right? You need a van. Then you see the mode. Is it a TL truckload partial? Okay. We, of course, don't see the payment because you need to make sure you call. And we have what type of equipment? 53 drive-in. Weight. In this case, this is very light, 1,500, right? And this one, the other one is also like 21,500. So as a D2P, it's day to pay. This is a rating for the brokers. So C.H. Robinson is a little bit better, 21 days. Landstar still kind of behind them. So both of them are A. And click on that fuel. So here is a great feature. So can you explain to me, how does it calculate? Does it go from the prices for exactly for starting, let's say, tomorrow, getting to Georgia, or is that predicting prices? Or actually you guys pulling the prices from the gas stations?
We partner up with ProMiles. If you're familiar with ProMiles, I think every load board kind of works with them, but they pull in the daily fuel prices from all the different stations. You can see here's all the different places I could potentially stop at along the way. And so it's taking an average of that. And you can also set up your preferences. I think mine's set up to like 6 miles per gallon, something like that. But you can set up your preferences to give you a more ideal number. So you can see this is based off of
miles per gallon, because if you have a newer truck and your MPG is 8 or 7.5, and then you have older truck, while your MPG 5.5, of course, expenses for fuel are going to be different. And that's why dispatchers need to understand every truck, every combination of the driver, of truck, and where you're going and the weight. It's going to change that number pretty much.
Drastically,
especially with the prices we've been paying for the fuel.
This is nice, because if you need to click on any of these, it will show you different accommodations.
So let's see. So if you're gonna click, so they're gonna even tell you what they do. So if they have the cat scale,
spaces,
they have parking spaces. Also, this is something which can actually make the dispatcher a pro dispatcher, because a pro dispatcher who can help driver with these things like fuel, and even sometimes telling, you know what, why don't you stop here, because they still have parking space, instead of keep driving another 30 miles and there is no parking spaces. So this is the extra things which can use by drivers, by dispatchers, by carriers, because in the end of the day, the driver has to be pleased, and they are doing the most of the work. So that's great.
And then there is one other one. So this little drop down here, if you click this and do optimize stops, so this is all based on your truck, like how many miles per gallon, what's your tank capacity, how much fuel do you have. So of course, numbers can vary based on where you're at with these, but if you hit optimize here, what it's going to do is it's going to try to find me the cheapest places to stop at, and potentially either save me money or give me a more realistic view of what I'm going to spend. So I'm actually not going to be saving money necessarily. It says, here are the cheapest places to stop at, but you're going to spend about $1,600 because of what you put in here. If I had more fuel to start with, of course, that's going to go down a little bit. So
let me ask you this, for new owners, and I have an example, somebody who came to the business without trucking knowledge, and you trust your drivers by actually using this, posting, for example, I'm booking this load from here to here. It's gonna tell him, for example, how much fuel his truck is really gonna use, how many gallons, right? Because believe me, we have a lot of thefts and scams on all sides of the logistics. So this is something which can actually help to kind of even watch after your drivers.
Yep, absolutely.
Wow, sounds good. So right here in one software, you have so many helpful tools. Okay.
Yeah, and
So
that's just in one place, and that's just in the multi-trip. If we go to the standard load, this is what I would say most people are going to be using in their day-to-day. So let's get in here. So you can either start a new search or click this little magnifying glass. It will default to your previous equipment type that you put in there, so it will remember it. You can do multiple, as many equipment types. So for those guys that are doing hot shot or box truck, they like to
let's do
combine.
that because
Sure.
everybody's struggling. So let's see if Truckstop actually has anything for the box trucks. Everybody's crying about box
There you
trucks.
go.
So let's
Yep. So there's a couple different equipment types that you can do for box trucks. We recommend SPV or cargo, and then there's
mhm.
also that other one that you just saw on there, VCAR. We also recommend doing van. And those were the kind of the top three, but it's important to put in what's your max weight. And then I would say box truck, 12,000, something like that. Of course, you can do your max length, 24. And then, so my current location, I'm in Nampa, Idaho. Idaho is not the greatest for freight in general, but we'll say Chicago. So there's
Okay.
55 loads. Now that's going to anywhere. If you want to click over into this map, the colors are going to tell
No,
you,
I mean with the box truck, we're not gonna go. So let's let's
yeah,
let's be professional here. So let's choose neighboring states. Let's choose
sure,
Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, maybe Missouri, Kansas, Tennessee, Kentucky. That's it.
okay.
We're not no, we're
There's
not no, we're
16.
not going on the East Coast that far. No, no,
Oh,
no.
all
Delete
right.
that.
We'll get that one.
Well, see. Okay, so let's see reality of the box trucks right
Yep.
now. Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead. We can change these up. We can move our columns around. So yours looked a little bit different. Of course, I have my actions over here, so I can just star them up. So if I wanted to look at those three that have a rate posted, I can do that.
Yeah.
Now we
Actually,
can,
I learned something new. You know what? I never knew that I could move them
you
around.
can
So
move them
now,
around. Yeah.
yes,
And
because
you
I
can,
like my brokers first and then everything else, and
ah,
that's what's bothering me sometimes. So I can move them
yes,
around. Silly,
that,
silly out.
that's a new update, I guess, when we develop this. You can also choose to remove certain columns too, up in the far right corner. So if you don't want to see certain things like last
Oh,
updated
that's
or
great.
yeah, the posted dates or the bond, I don't care.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, and you can also get rid of them. You can see hide the load. You can add more filters into it. So if you wanted to look just for less than truckload, for example, the rate, maybe you don't want to look at loads that don't have a rate posted on them. You can eliminate those if you want to. I wouldn't suggest it. And then a weight. If they didn't put a weight, especially if you're a box truck, you could be potentially calling on a dry van load. You can see a majority of these are posted,
So
or all
let's
of
put
them
the
are
weight.
posted.
Oh, but we did
Yeah.
put the weight. We put the
Well,
12. Okay.
you can do if you do like one, we're only going to see loads that have a weight on them. So we did eliminate a couple of them because they didn't even put a weight. But we also have the length. I don't necessarily need to eliminate that, but if you wanted to, you could do a one there too. But with the comparison, you can do up to 10 of them. You can also do multiple searches at once. So if you have a truck in Chicago, a truck over in Houston, you can just pop out another search and do one out of Houston, for example. And you can actually do a comparison for both. So we'll just throw
So
that out here.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's say that we're gonna choose one. God, I need glasses. So let's say we're gonna go from Chicago to Minnesota, check up in Minnesota, and then I want to make sure that my driver gets back. So let's see.
Yeah, you want to do Minnesota?
Yeah, let's do Minnesota because I mean I just saw that you have like 1, 2, 3 posted loads to Minnesota. So I
Let's
need
see
to
here.
get back. So before I jump for
Yeah.
that 80 cents per mile nonsense, what I'm getting back.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And so yeah, you can toggle back and forth. So if I wanted to, let's just grab that one for example, and that one. You can see it lays it up here, and then you can compare them.
Okay, so you can click and compare that. Where did you
Yeah,
click that? That's my like and subscribes covering right there.
down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
covering it up.
okay, so you can post Up to how many? How many you can
10.
post? You can
10 of
post
them.
10 and I can click compare, and that's what I'm gonna get in front of me.
Yeah, you can get all 10 of them popped up over here, which gives you all the details. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to click on the more details and open up a new tab. You'll
At
have
least you
your,
kind of start thinking, okay, if I'm gonna take 600 there, from there I can go
right.
900. Here I can go here. So I mean, you have to be able to put the numbers together, but at least you can start building the map in your head. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
actually that's impressive. I can tell you this. I give you 5 star for this.
Oh,
I
thank
was
you.
not
Thank you.
impressed till this point. I like this for sure.
Yeah,
I
and
like.
you made a good point. Like this one here, 87 cents, buy, and just get rid of it. And you can worry on these ones that you have pulled up. Again, if it doesn't have a posted rate, that's not a problem. That's where right here, it's called rate estimate, but this product is called rate insights. So we're going to provide you with the low, the high, and then the booked. So this is actual book data that we have kind of accumulated from all of our different products that we have, plus customers that share their rates with
Can
us.
I make that bigger, please, so we can have that view more
Let's,
right insights,
there
so
we
we
go.
can have it on a bigger screen.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So it goes over 4 weeks, right? So it shows you kind
Yeah, so
of the
this is
last.
4 weeks, but
Mhm.
let's get into, we'll go into this one. If you want to get into more of the, I guess, nitty gritty of rate insights, that's what you'd
Mhm.
want to do. So yes, this is for today, pickup of today. You can see it's pulling in weights as well. It is taking weight into consideration of the load. As you know, some loads are, if they're heavier, they could possibly cost more. Depends on supply and demand. But our rate estimate or booked estimate is 1,047, 324. We also give the estimated posted range, making sure that the broker is being fair when they're with their posted rate. It always should be paid more. And then our confidence level. So we can see based on the amount of data that truckstop has collected, we're at an 8.75. Anything really above.
Confidence level tells that approximately for this lane from Juliet to Louisville, Kentucky, for this type of equipment, you should be at least at 1,047, right?
Yep, yep, at least. Yeah,
At least.
yeah,
And how do you guys gather the data? Are you
yeah.
getting it from your brokers, or how do you get the data?
Yeah, multiple places. We have our own factoring company, so we collect invoices over there. We do get rates from customers, and we also have our own TMS, ITS dispatch, so we can see when carriers are getting paid, how much they're getting paid. Same with how much a broker is paying for that lane. And then it's also the machine learning is taking into consideration other things like what's the economy like, looking at the day of pickup, because a load could pay differently if it's picked up on a Friday compared to a Monday or over the weekend. It's looking at supply and demand. What's the load to truck ratio? If you are somewhat familiar with machine learning, it's a lot smarter than you and I. And so it's taking all of this data information into one place and deriving a rate. So it's saying we've seen other brokers pay 1,047. We have seen pay 1,200 based on the weight, the length, everything that's coming into the load. So collecting
So,
it from all over the place.
if you guys collecting this, because I just see what is the next rate insights, and I see you have also 36 months
Yep.
lane trans. A lot of carriers at some point they decide that, well, I've been carrying for a long time. I also want to add that brokerage MC and I want to become a broker. Or they want to go and start bidding directly,
Yeah.
dedicated lanes. So
Mm.
this is something that can help them to actually look through the data, because
Oh, yeah.
to actually go and give the price, and you have to have lots of data. You cannot just go, well, I need this and this. So this is actually gives you like 36 months lane trends, and it's actually beneficial for anybody who really wants to be in logistics, not just like
Mhm.
come book, post your truck, book the load, and don't
Yeah.
really understand the knowledge behind all of this data, because this is a lot of things which you can see. Like you said, even booking the load in the morning, it's a one thing. Booking the
Yep.
load afternoon, it's another thing.
Yep.
Booking the load from Chicago, for example, on Friday, you always gonna have better rate than you gonna try to book it on Monday. And most of the dispatchers have to learn those little secrets. But having the program which gives you all this extra data for each load, for the state, for the region, well, this is very beneficial. So
Yeah,
let's also touch up to the decision tools.
sure.
In the decision tools, you guys have extra tools that can help anybody to become better, or at least
Yeah.
make the right decision. So let's talk
Yep.
about those.
Yeah, so we have a couple of them. We're going to have load to truck ratios and then load densities. The load to truck ratio, you can see all loads in Idaho, but if we want to look at van, for example, and you can just choose your state down here, click on whatever state you would like. Let's do California, for example. So right now there's a total of a little over 1,000 loads, 607 trucks available, and then hot prospects are trucks that are searching. So you have the trucks that are posted and then the trucks that are searching for freight. So you can kind of add those two together sometimes,
So if
right?
we look at this, we can see why California is that. Because guys, look, 1247 hot
Mhm.
prospect searching plus 600 already posted. It's approximately 2,000, and you only have 1,090 loads. So
Yep.
load to truck ratio is actually dictating the prices. And as a
Mhm.
dispatcher, you need to understand supply and demand. How does it affect? So when people just look at the numbers, they need to learn. Look about flatbed.
Yeah,
Look
it's
about
crazy.
flatbed. The difference right there. Because
Yeah.
right now it's not a flatbed market. We are in the winter in most of the states. So actually flatbed, stab decks,
Yep.
Conestoga's market is low. But understanding this and actually training your brain to connect all of this together, it's very helpful if you want to
Yeah.
succeed in trucking as a carrier.
Yeah, and that's what it's saying. It's saying that there are far more trucks looking to go to these areas, the south and so forth, than there are loads. As a carrier, you want to see, more loads, but you have a lot of other people that you need to battle against because there's only 741 loads in total, and a lot more carriers. Now, of
Well,
course,
with those
that's going to be
numbers, it's not even battle, Nick. It's a war going on there.
yes, yes, yes,
141 compared to 50,000. Well,
yeah,
I would consider this a full war on
yep,
probably any world war. So going back to having the basic packet and having the pro, that 60-second, that's what's gonna help you to win that war, hopefully. Plus,
yes,
understanding what you're talking about, making sure that you know where you bring your truck to after you book the load. Okay, so sounds
yeah,
good. What else?
yeah.
What else Truck Stop is offering to us?
I let's go back to the main searching. I think this is really important because it all comes down to the time is money, and we give you access to all of the additional tools just in one place, so you can make your decisions a lot faster. So if we just click on this one, for example, you're going to get all the fuel, so you can take this average fuel price, the 76 per mile, deduct that from the 231, right? So you're able to make these decisions a little bit quicker. Is this a broker you want to work with? Their days to pay, their experience. You can always click into here, open fuel desk, open up the credit stop broker, call the broker right from here, see all the load details. So that's why we kind of reinvented the wheel when it came to the load board. We wanted to put everything in one place, so you didn't have to go click around and go to all these other drop downs, my products,
Where
and
is that little star? Can we go back to that little star? Are you telling me that I have to click on that little heart? Did you see that little heart when you went back to that, like right here? So what is that? I have to love
it's just
TQL, or if
or
when I am pissed at TQL, I can block TQL and then I'm not gonna see any TQL loads. What is those heart and I guess
yeah, the
the
heart is if you're searching anywhere. So if I go over to Chicago,
mhm.
there's none over here, but if there was a load posted by TQL, it would show up and kind of give you that indication that one of your favorite brokers is out there posting a load. So I have a little favorite companies in here, and you can remove
Okay.
people from there. But yeah, you can kind of block
Can
them
I
out.
can I block the brokers? For example, I know for sure this is a broker which does not pay. This is a broker who is not
Yeah.
responsible. So can I just block for the future? Because sometimes you forget, and especially a lot of companies have the same names. So if I
Mhm.
know for fact that I never want to work with this, I don't want to waste my time to even see their loads, I can just block it, right?
Yep, right here. So when you click in it, you'll see this little heart or cancel button. So yeah, I'm not going to do it, but yes, you can definitely just block them, and then you won't see any of their freight being posted anywhere. Yeah.
Sounds good. How accurate is your day to pay? Because
Yeah.
I mean, you guys also have factoring, right? But
Yep.
not everybody
Yep.
uses yours. For example, people use
Oh
all
no.
different.
Yeah.
So, is
I
your
think it.
day to pay comes from your factoring data or
No.
general?
No. In general. So we actually, when new brokers or any broker signs up, we collect a days to pay form from them, plus some references, like 5 references. We do an investigation, see what their average days to pay is. We also work with Insonia, so the credit reporting bureau, and we can actually pull information from there too. So that plays into it. But the letter grade is kind of proprietary to truckstop. We give every broker a letter grade, and what goes into that is their length of authority, number of complaints filed against them, because you can report a broker. So if they
Let's
do
talk
something to
about it.
you,
How can we report the broker? Because
yeah,
brokers usually report us on 411. Broker put us in their system that we're not going to give you loads.
yep,
How the carriers can finally also have that fair chance. And maybe you can also share with us what if the broker, which I booked the load from your load board, is not paying that load? What can be done? Like I
yep,
delivered, I pick up on
yeah,
time. It was booked from truckstop. You guys gave them even a rating A. So I
yeah.
trusted your platform, and now they're paying. What are the methods I can use from truckstop to maybe finally make a complaint,
Sure.
maybe finally gets paid? So what can we do?
So first, it doesn't matter where you book that load. You can report a broker to us, and we're still going to do an investigation. We have a security team that we take a lot of pride in, that does the investigations. We don't just take a report and file it against them without doing a thorough investigation by sending emails asking for proof of payment. If it is a non-payment complaint, we will ask the broker, please provide us with the payment if you're saying that you did pay them. So to report them, there is a couple different ways. There's one right out here, report a business. Brokers can also report carriers too. And
Now
so,
let's go to brokers. Let's
yep,
go to
yep.
their
So you
site.
can do it from here. And it's just going to kind of pull up a form for you to fill out, asking where is it a non-payment related? Is it about their days to pay? Did they take a lot longer than what they said they were going to, or just performance overall, right? And so let's say it was a non-payment, and then you go through and provide us with all the relevant details, comments as well. And then our assurance team or security team will be in touch with you once if we need any more details or any emails or any communication between you and the broker. If we find that it is a valid claim, if you come back here, you'll see there's an asterisk next to his days to pay. That means he does have some sort of complaint, non-payment complaint.
Okay.
This broker only has one, and it's about $661. But that can really affect their letter grade. If they get multiple of those, especially if they're newer, or if it's a really hefty one, 5,000, 6,000, that's going to
Okay, but what do you
drastically
do?
affect
So
it.
you contact them,
Mhm.
and I mean, you cannot physically make them pay, right?
No, no, we can't. But a lot of brokers take pride in this, because when you're doing a load search, for example, you have your experience letter out here. If your letter is in a C, even, N just means that they're new, or we don't have days to pay information about them. But a C rating, a D rating is still going to be on the board, and that's going to affect your ability to move loads. So they know that carriers can see it. And that's really all we can do. If they don't respond to us just saying that they got paid, we're going to assume that they didn't pay the carrier, and we're going to put that against
Let's
them.
go back opposite way. So now the broker complain about the carrier. So
Sure.
what they can complain about? Because we can complain on non-payment, we can complain on maybe not giving us tonu or detention, but what the broker can complain and what they can choose against the carrier. So let's see. Type of
This,
report. Bad. Okay, let's see the
yep.
drop down.
Yeah, it's just
Bad.
bad or good. Yep.
Bad or good. Okay. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. If I am brand new carrier and I really work with few brokers and they love me as a carrier, they can also give me a good report so
Yes.
other brokers can see, well, go ahead and work with Alex Transportation because they're always on top of the things. They pick up, they solve the problems. It's a pleasure to work with them. So it can go both ways, bad and good. Okay.
It can. Yeah, and you can do the same for brokers too. A good report. If we get one, we would list it at the very bottom of their credit stop. And then we're gonna kind of switch gears, but let's say I'm in the broker's shoes right now, and let's say you posted your truck. When they are searching for a truck, they will see your letter grade. We give every carrier also a letter grade
Oh,
based
really?
on, yes, and we will also show the broker the carrier's good or bad complaints filed against them. So yes, it's always good to get good reports filed against you. So here's just a truck search. We'll just so you'll see the CPR. It's called Carrier Performance Reporting. I'm just going to click on a random one. But we give them your government safety rating, a modest risk, and if they have any good or bad complaints filed against them. This one does not. But this could just be he is under 1 year of authority is usually the case for the B ratings.
Okay, sounds good. And for example, what if the carriers do not have a good safety? Is that going to be also shown on their rating there?
That's going to play into it.
Let's do one with a C, for example. Whatever.
Yeah. So this one is fine. What else goes into this though is your CSA scores.
Okay, so let's click. Okay,
yep,
so
you can see violations. Yep, violations. Also, your authority history plays a role in this too. So if you are, it looks like his authority was revoked, it was reinstated.
So it's a lot of dismissal notice. So yeah, so it's already a good broker. It's gonna kind of help you. Then okay, we have.
I would say those are kind of like the main three things we're going to be looking at: how long you've had your authority for, good, bad complaints, your history, and then your violations. And there are, yes, brokers that will use this, so they may not contact you. And when it comes to security, if you are a D rating, you are about on the brink of being removed from our load board. We're watching you pretty carefully. If you fall below that, then you'll be removed. It goes back to kind of the third-party dispatchers that we were talking about earlier. You can only get access our load board if you have an active authority. Carriers can only search for loads and post their trucks. They can't post loads. They can't search for trucks.
So let's ask you this. I'm a carrier. I have 36 trucks and I have 4 dispatchers working in the office. So that you just give them kind of like office subscription, or they have just users, authorized users for the carrier?
Yeah, we would have authorized users. Of course, we'd be talking to the FMCSA owner to verify ownership and that he or she makes all the calls of who gets added. But if they have 4 dispatchers, we will give them all individual license so they can find their own loads for their own trucks, since they're working under that authority. Like Alan was saying, if my wife wanted to find me some loads, if I authorize her, then that is fine. It got to a point where it became impossible to make sure that the dispatchers were really dispatching for the MC numbers that they were telling us they were dispatching for. And that's kind of a security risk.
That's the most common scam nowadays because, as I told you, everybody knows the data about you go to Safer, you know who the owner, you know where's the trucks, you know the MC. So when you call, unfortunately, And a lot of times what happens, and that's what they do, they call brand new carriers and they ask them, well, can you send me the W-9? Can you send me the proof of authority? Can you send me your NOA? Can you send me this and this? Because I will be preparing the setup package from you, right?
Sure.
So they do, and those people, they already have all the information. So when they call, they have everything and they just make up a different email. I mean, lately I've been talking to so many brokers who actually getting FBI involved because their loads are getting stalled because
Yeah.
people get the information because maybe they booked the load with them and they have all of this. Let's
Yep.
go back to the truck stop community. So what is
Sure.
that community about?
Yeah, let's do it. I take a lot of pride in the community. It's something that my team has kind of revamped. So if you go up to let's get rid of this real quick. The resources, there is a community page. There's lots of different blogs and posts in here, but we also have a bunch of videos to kind of walk you through using every individual product that I walked you through. So training.
Mhm.
We also host live webinars weekly, do them pretty frequently. So if you wanted to watch a carrier load board one, sign up for that. You can do that through here. But
Are those free for people who
yeah,
have your load board?
anybody. Yeah, if they can find this link, yeah, anybody. Of course, we would prefer it is a training session on how to use it, where to click, and
Mhm.
we're not necessarily teaching you how to dispatch like what you would be doing, but we're teaching you how to use the product. And it's a classroom of, depends. It could be 10 people, it
I
could be
am
5
very glad
people.
that you updated this because for a while it
Yeah,
was just YouTube
very
videos.
old.
And
Yeah,
yes, and finally my
yep,
last two classes they received these links, and I like, well, I don't have to do it because you did a good job. And
yep.
most of them,
Thank you.
you're the one who explaining, and I like the way
Yeah.
you explain. So I was like, thanks, Truckstop. Finally, we're not going to YouTube and watching the not
Yeah,
updated version of the Truckstop. So even if you not using yet your product, even if you're not yet a carrier, it's very good resources to even get
yeah,
used to what the logistics about, what dispatching about, what is the trucking about. So very thankful. And also you have a lot of actually helpful articles. I don't know, you guys have
hmm,
a team who
yeah,
writes that, or where all those articles come from? Because a lot
yeah.
of the things that people who are in logistics should be reading and actually learning.
Yeah, we have a marketing team, of course, that's dedicated to making all of these articles, but on the homepage, you can find some in here. I don't know how much the forums, we're still in the process of revamping this. It was kind of forgotten about, and we've started to get in here, revamp it, make it more up to date, starting with some of the videos. But yeah, absolutely a resource that you can go into, browse around, click around, watch a couple videos.
What about that refer a friend? So what do you get with that? Do you see the
That's a
last
good question.
one? Okay.
So I'm not going to be the total expert, but what it looks like is if you do refer a friend, get your email to get your share link. So you would put in your email address. I believe you have to be an active customer for this. Again, don't quote me on this part of it, but it looks like there's $100 involved in this. So you could refer a friend to Truckstop, and you would give them the referral code.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Well, we're not gonna be doing that because everybody who wants to get a good deal, they're gonna come to our link and our partnership because you
yeah,
you getting 50% for 3 months. It's pretty sweet deal for its dispatch and load board. Let's talk about other product because I mean we've been the time goes really fast. We're almost up
yeah,
to the hour. We'll bring you back
of
and let's
course.
our viewers, and then we're going to answer a few questions. What other products we're going to be talking probably in 2 weeks because we're going to schedule.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
we were talking about load board today. We were talking about searching, all those tools. What
yep.
else Truckstop is offering for making carrier's life easier?
Yeah, one of them is going to be our TMS, which is called ITS Dispatch. It's been in the industry a long time, like 2009. So it's really made for those smaller trucking companies, smaller
May I ask
fleets.
question since 2009 because I used that 2012, 13, 14. Actually, did it step up? Is it actually rebuild TMS? Did they bring
Uh,
new features or not?
There's a couple new features. I would say it's not something that we are putting all of our development into. We've had it for a long time. We maintain it. We make sure that it runs properly, but not really offering any future updates to it at this point. It's a very simple dispatching software. It can help you with invoicing, kind of
Very,
managing it, but
especially for people who just come because you can do a
yeah.
lot of. I'm not gonna spoil the moment because we're gonna talk about it in 2 weeks. So besides TMS, what
Yep.
else are you gonna surprise us with? What else do you guys have?
Yeah. We also offer factoring. So we offer non-recourse factoring. This will be a little bit of a shorter, presentation. There's not a whole lot to it, but you can factor all of your loads through our mobile app. Take a picture of your invoice, or not your invoice,
We're
but
not
your
spoiling. We're
paperwork,
not
and
spoiling. We're just giving overview because I
yep,
see you in two
yep,
weeks. So
and
factoring
then
TMS. What about
yep,
onboarding? Because every
yep,
dispatch, every carrier now has to deal with onboarding and
onboarding. Yeah,
RMIS. Is
yep,
RMIS now is a part of truckstop, or what is the
it
deal
is.
with RMIS?
Yeah, so there is an onboarding directory here for any carrier to go to, and then this would take you over to that broker's RMIS page. But we do own RMIS, the onboarding product, and we're going to walk you through what it looks like when you talk to a broker.
Okay, so we do have a question. I'm gonna remove your stuff. So, oh, they were asking about the prices, and I guess we have what 39 for basic, 125 for advanced, and
Hmm.
149 for the pro.
That's right.
Okay,
Yep.
what else are well? Good luck. Your videos are very educational. Of course, look at this, guys. We have a pro who knows what he's talking about, right? So
Trying.
here's a question. Good afternoon. As a dispatcher, why is it difficult to open an account with them? Can we just one more time verify why we not giving this opportunity to independent dispatchers, companies outsourcing as a dispatch services outside of the USA? Why truck stop is so strict? Can we just tell them one more time because this is very
Yeah.
important? No.
Yeah, overall, we only accept people that have either a carrier authority or a broker authority. And it's too hard to track. If you're dispatching for multiple MCs, it's too hard for us to track all of those MCs that you may be dispatching for. It could potentially be somebody that doesn't have insurance or doesn't have authority, and we won't know that. So we're trying to keep all of our partners as safe as possible using our service.
Somebody said, well, Alex is about to make bang with all those Amazon's gives account. Well, we actually gonna make sure that you guys go to our link and that you take an opportunity and you can save money because you getting 50% off for 3 months. And it's actually a big saving. Plus, you getting one of the best load boards out there and a lots and a lots of features. Well, thank you so much, Nick,
Yes,
for
absolutely.
having patience and explaining everything to us. And hopefully, a lot of people who did not use truckstop, they can see the difference, so they can compare and they can choose. Because sometimes people like to have different load boards. But for me personally, I really learned today about few features that I did
There you
not
go.
even think of do, like comparing. Believe it or not, I use it every day. I never click. I was like, I just never got to the plus the other one that I can organize the way I
Mm,
want it.
yep,
Because I know what I want to see first. For me, for example, rate per mile doesn't really
yep,
make sense. I need to make sure the broker, I need to where is it going, weight, what type of equipment. So now, well, it's gonna make my life easier. Well, thank you so
perfect.
much.
Yes, thanks
And
for having me.
we'll see you back in 2 weeks. And we're
Yep,
gonna talk about factoring and TMS, and of course, onboarding, and maybe we still do one more demonstration on those tools, because we did
sure.
not cover all of them. So maybe we prepare something realistic exactly for the day so we can compare and help new carriers to understand how good load work can help you to survive in this tough market. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to say goodbye to you, and I'm just going to have 5 more minutes
Thank
to
you,
talk
everybody.
to my audience about upcoming classes. So goodbye, boys. And guys, as always, we are trying to show you what's going on in trucking, what helps you to survive. And as many of you know, yes, market is very tough. And a good dispatcher, the pro dispatcher, always goes an extra mile. And that's why in Dispatch Training Center, we never stop. We just finished our January class, and we are starting the new class March 4th, right? So make sure you guys do not wait till the last minute, because I will be closing registration in 5 days. You need to get ready. You need to put all your energy into this, and I will make sure I will give you all the knowledge and everything what's going on in trucking nowadays. We also looking forward our trucking and compliance in April. Usually the classes get sold out. Make sure that you do not miss the deadlines. Safety and compliance is very important. For my previous students, remember, you guys getting discount. So make sure that you reach out and learn also other subject that's gonna help you to find and onboard carriers. The reality of trucking is that small carriers, they cannot afford the safety professional, they cannot afford an accountant, they cannot really afford dispatchers. So if you're a person who has all this knowledge and you a person who can take care of everything for this carrier, they will love working with you. They will pay higher rate and percentage because you can help them grow. What else is going on? Well, of course, market is tough, but that doesn't mean that you cannot start your own business. You cannot wait until the market's gonna switch to open trucking company. But I can tell you this, before you're gonna click and go apply for that MC, I'm gonna see you on my webinar, How to Open Trucking Company. It's going to be in March. It's going to be 4 hours of every details you need to know before you decide to get into trucking. Believe it or not, trucking has lots and lots of different regulations. Trucking is not that easy to maintain. Trucking involves lots of money, lots of finances. And if you cannot put your business plan together, if you do not know the steps, unfortunately, you're not going to succeed. And that's why I'm here with you guys. And I will say goodbye to you, and I'll see you soon. And hopefully, you guys going to like, comment, and sign up for my classes. Love you guys. Have a good one.